How can Bitcoin SV be useful in an industry like construction, where block size is typically measured in meters of concrete rather than numbers of transactions? Well, my guest on this week's show is a building professional and has answered that question in a very practical way. He's issuing tokens on the BSV blockchain to improve his cash flow and as part of a bigger ambition to drag the construction industry into the digital age. So impressed has he been with his blockchain experience so far that he's already founded another business in software development, working on blockchain products.
You're listening to CGConversations with Charles Miller.
Welcome to CGConversations. I'm very pleased to be joined by Dr. Maximilian Korkmaz. Dr. Korkmaz, thank you very much for doing the show today.
Thank you for having me.
And I'd like to go right back to the beginning to find out about your involvement with Bitcoin SV, which is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts with your work in your very own construction company in Frankfurt, Germany. Just give me a little bit of background about the company, would you, to start with?
Sure. I am a civil engineer. I'm in the construction industry for 16 years now. I worked for large companies before, and I founded my own construction company in 2019. And recently, we have introduced the token of the name of my company is Stabilwerk Bau, and we have introduced a token that's called Stabilwerk Credits. This token is it runs on the Bitcoin SV blockchain, and it uses the Simple Fabric Protocol 01, and it's basically a customer retention program. So
right. Let's take this slowly then, because it's a fascinating story for those of us who are interested in Bitcoin SV and its
Mm-hmm.
potential. Can you tell me how you first came across Bitcoin or Bitcoin SV in particular?
Sure. Well, I read a lot about new technologies, and blockchain technology was one of them. Actually, I heard of Bitcoin in 2010, I guess, during my Ph.D. My office mate told me about Bitcoin, but I wasn't that interested. I was too busy for it, I guess, with my papers, etc. And in 2017, I revisited the blockchain space, and I started learning more. Of course, I started with I started with learning first the BTC narrative, and then after the split of Bcash and BSV, I listened to both sides. I scrutinized both parts of the discussion, and I chose Bitcoin SV because it was, the promises of the Bitcoin SV side was all about industries and applications and businesses.
Right.
So I thought it was the right one for me.
Because most people coming into Bitcoin for the first time, they're really mainly thinking of a new kind of money, maybe speculating on it, putting some money in and hoping to make some money. Yes. Did you go through that stage before you went further into Bitcoin?
I went through that stage too, yeah.
Did you make a lot of money?
No, not really.
I'm sorry.
It's very difficult to make money. I'm not a whale, so
right.
I find it very difficult to trade BTC when so many whales are there.
Right. So when you started looking at Bitcoin SV, you started looking at its potential for micropayments, or how did you focus in on the tokens that you ended up producing?
Bitcoin SV blockchain was interesting for me in so many levels, such as the smart contracts, micro and nano payments, also the payment part, how fast, secure, and stable the network is.
And how did you educate yourself about these aspects?
I read a lot about blockchain. I took some courses, and I think the courses of the Bitcoin Association was the one that taught the most.
Right. And so when you started thinking about it, what was your thought about how you could actually make use of this?
Yes. From the beginning on, it was obvious to me. I'm a civil engineer. I work in the construction industry, and I believe that the construction industry is broken. Researchers demonstrated that the construction industry is the least efficient industry among all businesses. And you feel it. The people who work in the construction industry are actually aware of this. But it's painfully conservative, and unfortunately, it's moving very slowly.
Can you give me some examples of what the kind of inefficiencies you're talking about?
Sure. The ratio of labor to the production we do is very high, for example. Digitalization is not at the level of other industries. We get a lot of problems at the construction site because of communication, lack of communication among parties, because construction projects have naturally several parties. The clients, the general contractor, the several subcontractors, their laborers, and credit institutions. I thought I might be able to make these processes more efficient using blockchain. And I introduced Stabilwerk credits for the payment part. I mean, it was the beginning of, it was the first step of a more extensive plan, which we are currently carrying out. It's an ongoing project, and we plan to tokenize the entire relationship among the actors of construction projects.
Let's just take it first of all with what stage you've reached so far. Yes. So if I come to you as a potential customer, yes, what would my experience be, and what would you be offering me in relation to this scheme?
Yes, I would offer you our token, Stabilwerk credits, and as a customer, you will receive 10% discount if you choose to pay with this token, with Stabilwerk credits. And as the construction company, I receive my money even before starting the construction work.
So I pay you some money, and then you give me the credits.
Exactly.
But it's good for me because when I use the credits to pay for my work that you're going to do for me, I will get a discount of 10%.
Exactly. And as a construction company, it's also good for me because I receive my money even before starting the construction work. According to, I live in Germany. My company is in Germany. And according to German regulations, VOB and BGB, the payment deadlines in construction industry are 21 days and 30 days after the completion of the entire construction project. So it's a huge advantage for us because we have in this case, we have the flexibility of having the money in advance as the...
But then you can use that to buy materials and...
Exactly. That in this way, we don't need to go to credit institutions to take a loan to carry out the project, actually.
That sounds like a great idea, but you wouldn't really need blockchain or BSV to do that, would you?
That's true. That's true. But blockchain makes it... German government would like the companies that operate in Germany to digitalize. We are way behind of many countries as Germany, and we are trying to digitalize every sector, basically. And construction is one of them, and we would like to digitalize the construction economy as well. And by doing this on a blockchain, it's a customer retention program. Of course, there are other. It's not a new thing. There are other customer retention programs executed by other companies, but doing this on a blockchain, first we reduce the paperwork, which is very important in the current situation of Germany. I mean, we are encouraged to do that by our government. Secondly, it provides an honest business relationship which can be audited anytime by the government officials. So these are the advantages of doing it on blockchain, and as I said, this is only the first step. The further steps will be tokenizing the entire relationship among all actors of the construction projects.
To make this first step work, how complicated was it for you did you have to design an app, or what was your process to make this actually happen?
It was extremely easy. I just minted Stabilwerk credit tokens using the Simple Fabric protocol. It took me like 5 minutes. And then when a customer would like to buy this, they just send me an email, and I help them set up a wallet, a Bitcoin SV wallet, and then they're good to go.
So they have to then go and buy BSV to pay you with, do they? They send fiat to us, and we send the tokens. Right, I see. So they just send you ordinary money in the normal way.
Exactly.
This is the payment for my job.
Exactly.
And then you send the tokens to the wallet that they've opened.
Exactly. That's because the industry is not, I mean, the mindset of people is not ready for 100% Bitcoin payments yet.
Right.
We have taken the first step, and in the future, I'm sure it will happen. We will work only paying Bitcoin, but we're not there yet.
So how long has this been going, and how well has it been going with your customers so far?
Oh, it's very new. It's been going for a couple of months now, like 2 months. And we have already got paid. Our customer utilized Stabilwerk credits to pay us, and they received 10% discount on our services. And we received our money in advance. That was a win-win situation.
And how do you find it when you or your colleagues are trying to explain the whole system to potential customers? Do they welcome it with open arms, or are they suspicious, or what?
Actually, they were unexpectedly open-minded about it, and it wasn't really difficult to explain them. I mean, the infrastructure is there. I just technically explained them, and then they have the know-how to execute it already.
And I suppose the dreaded word Bitcoin doesn't need to come into the explanation very much, does it? I mean, do they? Because a lot of people, when they don't know, are a bit worried about anything.
Not really. I mean, at this stage, you can even describe it as a coupon, and any customer would know what a coupon is. So you would say we have digitalized the coupon system, and that's pretty much it. And then when we take the further steps, of course, it will get more complicated. Smart contracts will be in it, but I'm sure we will find a way to explain it to our customers as well.
That's amazing. Well, let's just move on a bit, because you've actually now started a software business as well.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that, would you?
Yeah. After tokenizing the payments of our construction company, I decided on founding a software company, and I have recently founded P2P Software GmbH also in Frankfurt, Germany. P2P Software, we will be building projects not only in construction sector, but also for the daily internet users. I mean, blockchain projects that use micro and nano payments. I saw a tremendous potential in this, and it would be too expensive for me, too costly for me to miss on this opportunity.
Will P2P software work exclusively with Bitcoin SV?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So do you think this could overtake your construction business work if it goes well?
Well, construction is my bread and butter. I love building. I'm a civil engineer. I did a double degree in civil engineering and business, but civil engineering is my passion. And I will definitely be at the construction sites in 20 years from now. Definitely. Whatever, happens, I will be there. So I don't think it will take over. Sure, there's a huge potential there. I might earn more money from software business than I earn from construction business, but I want both of them to go hand in hand. As I said, we will create applications for the construction industry as well, and I think I'll definitely not leave construction business, but the other one, I'm also very excited about it.
But so is the basic business model of the P2P business that you will create products that you will then sell to businesses, or is it more just a business will come to you and say, we would like to do something like you've got with your token, can you make one for us, kind of
I'd
thing?
say more the second one.
Yeah.
For example, the construction app we will build, it will be used by anybody who is involved in the construction business in any way. For example, personally, you can maybe you would like to build a house, and as a customer, you will go on the app we will build and find the right general contractor for you. It will not be a local one. The app will, my plan is that the app is used worldwide in Africa, Asia, America, Europe, everywhere. But you will be able to find the right general contractor for you in your area. And then that particular general contractor will go to the app and find the right subcontractors for the jobs that are to be carried out.
But how does Bitcoin SV come into that then?
This will run on the Bitcoin SV blockchain, and the entire relationship will be tokenized. For example, the credentials of the companies will be tokenized. That means you will know and you will be able to double check on the blockchain that that company has a green building certificate, for example. Right?
I see, yeah.
And then the payments among the actors of the construction project will be also tokenized, including the credit institute.
And then your business will take a cut of all the transactions that take place on it, or
yes,
right. It sounds like an amazing project, and it reminds me a little bit of some of the work that's been done in Bitcoin SV in relation to supply chains, where complicated relationships are negotiated by everybody sharing the same blockchain.
True. It can be done in any industry, but in construction industry, it hasn't been done yet. And we would like to be the spark. And we have already taken the first step, and we would like to go step by step. We are aware that we have a long way to go, and this will take time, but we are up to it.
Is this the first time you've been to one of the CoinGeek conferences?
Yes.
And what do you make of the atmosphere here and all the other entrepreneurs and people that you've met so far?
I genuinely find it amazing. The people, they're really interested in what's in the topics here, and they support each other. I mean, my perception is that people in the BSV community they have the feeling that they personally will be successful when the others are successful. Okay, I know that Satoshi Nakamoto would like us to compete, but I think we're not there yet. We're a small community, and I don't think there's somebody to compete with me in construction, in smart contracts and payments in the construction industry yet. It will happen in the future, but we're not there yet.
Right, and the more people that there are spreading the word about Bitcoin SV and what you can do on it, the easier it'll be for you to sell your idea to potential customers, I guess.
Exactly. I mean, I'm also addressing all construction companies. I've just talked about it. I mean, it's very easy to do, and if you contact me, I can help them do that.
I mean, one of the things I would have thought, I don't know the construction business, but the business model that you describe as the traditional one, where basically the customer holds back the money as long as they possibly can, that's both for financial reasons, but also to make sure that the job is done properly.
Yes.
I mean, are you going to get pushback from people saying, well, I like the 10% off, but actually I'd like to keep you under my control by holding the money back until I'm satisfied with the job having been properly completed? Do you see that as an obstacle?
That's a great question. I mean, for the further steps, the smart contracts will be in the game, and it will be regulated by smart.
And so, how would that work exactly? How would that change the relation?
For example, when the job is done, the construction manager will use the app at site. It will be a mobile app for them, of course, and they will just swipe to make the payment of the subcontractors when the job is done and he has checked everything and everything is in place. He will just swipe and the smart contract will trigger the payment, and the credit institute will directly make the payment. Of course, at first, as I said, we're not there yet. We will make the payments using fiat, and then once the society is ready for it, we will go with Bitcoin payments as well.
And does this depend on there being much less volatility in the price of Bitcoin SV in relation to other currencies, or does that not matter to you too much?
As we will be implementing this project using fiat, it will not affect us that much. But when we're at the point that the society accepts Bitcoin as their first choice currency, I think the volatility will not be at the level that we have now.
Well, it's a really fascinating project, and well, not more than one project, a whole lot of prospects for future projects, but it's been really great talking to you, so thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much to Dr. Maximilian Korkmaz. Well, if that was a glimpse into the future of Bitcoin, in the next 2 weeks, we'll be taking a trip back into its past. I'll be talking to Ian Grigg, the distinguished developer and financial cryptographer, whose connections with Bitcoin, and Dr. Craig Wright in particular, are deep and fascinating. So please join me to hear about the very early days of Bitcoin with Ian Grigg. Thanks for listening this week, and from me, Charles Miller, goodbye.